We're here to bring a new type of news show.
New insights, new styles, and new topics every single day.
We are News Generation.
Bring news just for you. It's Tuesday, January 21st here in Seoul. I'm Song Yujin, and you're watching News Generation. Joining us today is Kwon Ji-yeon.
Good morning, Yujin.
Good morning, Ji-yeon, and Kang Mun-ju.
Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. Now, both are here to speak on behalf of those in their 20s and 30s. So, it's Tuesday, so we're going to begin with our keyword news. Today's keyword is 100. South Korea's Ministry of Culture, Sports and Tourism announced on Monday the top 100 tourist destinations of Korea. This biennial project, which started in 2012, selects and introduces the country's must-visit spots. The list features 61 cultural attractions, including historical sites, architectural landmarks, and recreational facilities, as well as 39 natural sites such as forests, oceans, and wetlands. So among those selected, have you visited any, and are there any spots that you'd particularly like to recommend to our viewers?
Yeah, I've been to some of these 100 places such as Seoul Sky, Lotte World, and Seokjung Lake. And Seoul Sky was very impressive to me. It's the tallest building in South Korea and the 6th tallest building globally. So, but I have an acrophobia, the fear of heights, so I was very scared to visit there, even trying it at first. But as soon as the elevator brought me to the 117th floor, I think it's the lowest floor of the observation deck there, I thanked my friend for dragging me up there. So I could see the Seoul city at one side, and the site was so splendid that I couldn't forget it, even I've been there several years ago. And so I definitely recommend Seoul Sky to everyone, our viewers here. And it's also located right next to Lotte World and Seokjung Lake, which is very famous for a great nightscape.
Right.
So I can group all these three places together and recommend visiting Seoul Sky at first in the morning, and then enjoying Lotte World, and wrapping up your day with appreciating the great nightscape of Seokjung Lake.
That's such a nice itinerary. I mean, you can take a look at the scenery from high up above and then enjoy the amusement park, and ending off by walking around the beautiful Seokjung Lake. And now I would like to also ask you, Ji-yeon.
I think I've been to most of the places here that the government mentioned. Well, in fact, I've had the pleasure of visiting Jeju Ole Trails, enjoying the instant noodles by the Hangang River, and exploring the Seokcho Tourist and Fishery Market in Gangwon State. Well, the Jeju Ole Trails offered breathtaking coastal views, and eating noodles by the Hangang River was a simple yet uniquely Korean experience for Koreans as well,
Right.
especially with the beautiful riverside atmosphere. And Seokcho's market was lively, full of fresh seafood and local dishes that show the area's unique appeal. Well, each of these attractions, locations left a strong impression to me, combining culture, nature, and everyday Korean life, Korean culture as well. If I've got to recommend only one place, that will be Jeju Ole Trails for its stunning natural beauty. But, however, the Hangang River noodle experience is perfect indeed. But FYI, just don't forget to buy some, sausages. You will regret it, indeed.
That is indeed the cherry.
That is right.
Right, so some great recommendations from our panelists. And with the long Seollal holiday or Korean Lunar New Year just around the corner next week, if you're planning to visit Korea during this time, why not explore some of these destinations? And that was our keyword news for this Tuesday. So turning our focus to our main attention of the day, it's Tuesday when we talk about the latest on Korea's cultural front. Take a look at the screen to find out more.
Last month, the Oxford English Dictionary, often referred to as the definitive authority on the English language, added 7 Korean words to its official lexicon. This shows the growing impact of Korean culture on English-speaking cultures. Today on News Gen, we will focus on which words made the list and why.
Right, so the Oxford English Dictionary announced its most recent quarterly updates last month, which is December, and as mentioned in the VCR, several new Korean words made it to the list. So Ji-yeon, could you first walk us through which 7 words were newly added to this dictionary?
Of course, as you mentioned, 7 brand new words, Korean ones, have been added to the Oxford English Dictionary, keeping their original Korean spelling. Well, the new entries are 달고나, or sweets, or candy, 형, brother, 찌개, stew, 막내, the youngest of a group or family, 노래방, singing room, pansori, which is a Korean traditional music, and tteokbokki, one of the snacks in Korea. Well, 달고나, for 달고나, it's described as a Korean confection made by adding baking soda to melted sugar, typically sold by street vendors in the form of a flat disc with a simple shape such as a heart, star, etc., carved on its surface. So if the shape is quite tricky, it can be very challenging for you. Well, the dictionary also mentions the Netflix hit series Squid Game, which made 달고나 globally popular here and there. For 막내, the explanation is the youngest person in a family or group, or the youngest member of a K-pop group. For example, Blackpink Lisa's 27th birthday was used in a sentence to explain 막내, referring to her as the beloved 막내 Lily, which is her Lisa's nickname of the group. And also, tteokbokki is defined as a Korean dish consisting of small cylindrical rice cakes cooked in a spicy sauce made with gochujang spicy chili paste, usually served as a snack, often as street food. So this edition is quite, it shows how deeply Korean culture and its unique elements have been embraced worldwide in the dictionary. It's a proud moment for all of us to see these words and their cultural significance being recognized globally, as you can see.
Right, and the words coming from various aspects of Korean culture, not just Korean food, but K-content, Korean spaces, and so much more. So 7 new words were added to the Oxford English Dictionary, that is Korean words. So we're now going to take a step back and kind of look at the broader picture. So Bunju, there are many dictionaries around the world. So what does it mean for a word to be included in the Oxford English Dictionary? And could you share a bit more about the history of Korean words being recognized on the dictionary's list?
Yeah, of course. So the Oxford English Dictionary, first published in 1884, is an authoritative dictionary in the English-speaking world. So it is now operated as an online platform that can be searched immediately and is regularly updated every 3 months. So we can assume that the words listed in this dictionary are those often used globally by any means. So Korean words began to be listed in 1976, starting with Hangul and kimchi. In 2021, actually 26 words such as 한류, 먹방, and 대박 were listed at once. And this time, Korean words were updated for the first time in about 3 years, actually. So the Korean-related words included in this update have cultural meanings such as Korean food or titles. In particular, many of them are related to K-culture, which has gained great popularity in English-speaking world. So the use of Korean words without translation is greatly influenced by K-pop idol fans. So the use of Korean words without something with the translation is called 돌민정음. So it's a compound word of idol, and 훈민정음, where idol fans read and write Korean, as it is without translation. So the recently listed word 형, as Jiyeon just mentioned previously, is a representative example of 돌민정음.
Right, and if I could add a little more, the significance of a word being added to the Oxford English Dictionary is huge because the dictionary, its team does thorough preliminary research before deciding to add the word to the dictionary, because once a word enters the dictionary, it stays there permanently. It cannot be removed. So as Moonju mentioned, the addition of these words is a testament to the growing presence of the Korean language and also Korean culture. So to find out more, we also asked our viewers to share their favorite Korean words and how they came across them. Here's what they had to say. Let's first look at our comment for Tuesday. Our first comment was given by Hojugimchi1412. I studied Korean at the University of Queensland in Australia a few years ago, and my knowledge of vocabulary and grammar gets refreshed every time I watch Korean content. My favorite Korean word is 빨리, which means quickly in Korean. Roddy Russell Jr. 93 says, as a Seoul Eland FC supporter, that's a football club named here in Korea in the K-League, our word for 2025 is 승격, which means promotion. We came so close last year, but hopefully this is the year we go up to K-League 1. Finally, the King's Kid FOR says, Korean is one of the languages with the most easily accessible material in the world. My favorite word is 시작하다, which means to start, because it takes courage to learn a new language. However, if you start and keep going, you will be in a better place a day, a month, or a year later. So we've taken a look at some of our viewers' favorite Korean words. For more on this topic, we're now going to invite an American millennial to our talks after a short break. Stay tuned.
NewsGen wants to hear from you. Go to YouTube and search our channel Arirang.News. Click Community and leave a comment down below. Make a new type of news with us.
Welcoming to our show today is Brandon M. Jones, an American millennial living in Korea. Always great to have you on the show, Brandon.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me again. It's always a pleasure to be here.
It's always a pleasure to have you as well. So, Brandon, we would first like to ask you, how fluent are you in Korean? And can you tell us when and how you were first introduced to the Korean language?
My Korean, don't you guys say like shipkum palkum, like 90%? I understand enough because I live here and work here for about 10 years. But I remember in middle school, high school, one of my best friends was Korean. So that's how I got introduced to the culture. I remember going to his house and his mom will make us like kimchi jjigae or some type of soup or like a tteokbokki, and it made me fall in love with the language,
Lovely, Brandon.
So,
10
yeah.
years of experience. Well, would you say Korean is becoming more popular in your country?
Yes, 100%. So it's the Korean rave is everywhere now. So I'm currently taking some Korean classes to improve my level, and all the students there are American. And it's kind of weird because I'm taking classes with high schoolers. So they flew from America to take classes in Korea. And that's how you can say like the K-wave is getting so big. People are taking a gap year just to come study here. You can go to the stores in America and you can hear BTS or something playing in the stores, and Squid Game, all that stuff is everywhere. Like everyone's eating the snacks, ramyun, not ramen, but it's getting crazy.
Yeah, great. So you lived in Korea for like almost 10 years. So do you find yourself using Korean words regularly in your daily conversations based on your experience here?
Yeah, so these days I'm currently working at a Korean AI startup called ASUM, and the entire team is in Korean. So I have to talk to the developers, talk to the marketing team in Korean. There are a few English speakers, but it's helping me improve my level really quick. So in my day-to-day, I try to speak as much Korean as possible, throw some slang in there, daebak and let's party, like fighting and things like that. But it's growing, and I'm using it every day, and then try to level up as much as possible.
Brandon, we asked the same question to our viewers before, but could we ask you, what's your favorite Korean word, or is there any Korean words or expressions that you use the most in your daily life?
There's one. I know a drinking one, but I don't know if you guys will let me say it.
Well, you can try.
Okay, maybe they'll beep it. I like to say 마시고 축자.
Could you please tell us what that means in English for our international viewers?
It's direct translation is like let's drink and die, but in like a literal translation, just like let's party and have fun. Don't drink too much, you guys. Like drink responsibly. That's all I can say.
Right, that's the most important part. All right, Brandon, thank you so much for joining us. It's always great to have you on our show. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, and I look forward to having more of these.
Same here. Right, so from the comments and our guest interview with Brandon, it's clear that Korean is gaining popularity worldwide, especially among the younger generation. And I think that this new recent crops of Korean words added to the Oxford English Dictionary really is a snapshot that shows the growing influence of Korean culture and Korean language on the global stage. So I want to ask you, Jiyeon, do you have any more concrete data or examples that can really show this?
Of course, I do have them. Well, it's no surprise that the Korean language is quite popular among MZs, like Brandon mentioned. MZs who are fans of Korean culture, driven by their love for K-drama, K-music, everything related to Korea. More students are beginning to learn Korean, the language itself. According to the language learning application Duolingo, Korean was the 6th most popular language for students in the world to study as of 2023. Amazing, isn't it? So with the Korean wave growing stronger, the number of applicants for the Korean language proficiency test known as TOPIK continues to rise and rise. Previously held 3 times a year, the TOPIK now holds 6 times.
So
annually.
doubled.
Double indeed. This proves the rising demand for Korean to many students. Soon the world might say 안녕 more than hello.
Right, and we might see more Korean words or expressions being included in more people's public discourse
That's
or daily
right.
conversations. Are there any other examples or data that you'd like to share, Munju?
Yeah, of course. So as Brandon and Jian just mentioned, Korean wave is gaining its momentum, and it's natural for interest in Korean language to simultaneously grow. So for instance, more universities in English-speaking countries are including Korean in their official curriculum, and the number of students enrolling these courses is also increasing. And additionally, more users are learning Korean on language learning application like Duolingo.
Right. So the Korean language, we're seeing indeed a more widespread usage of the Korean language and Korean words worldwide. Now, looking ahead, we're going to end off by making some bold predictions. I mean, new terms gain ground very rapidly. So I want to ask you guys, what do you think? Could you predict what kind of new Korean words or expressions will enter the Oxford English Dictionary list soon? As mentioned earlier, the dictionary makes quarterly updates.
Well, I do believe that Munju thought, well, Munju's opinion, more words related to K-pop, K-content will be added soon for this dictionary, while words like 누나, or older sister, 언니, older sister, used by women, and 오빠, older brother, have already been included in the dictionary. Other popular terms like likely to follow related to the relationship-wise. Words like 친구 or friend, often used to highlight close friendships, or 자기야 or darling, a loving term frequently heard in romantic scenes in dramas, have strong potential. And also 선배 or senior and its counterpart 후배 or junior that is, which reflect rank-based relationships in schools and workplaces here, could also be added due to their cultural significance. And even 막장 drama, over the top, or the dramatic plot lines dramas might join the list, as it defines an entire genre of K-dramas. And these words are quite familiar to fans worldwide already. They showcase Korean culture's global influence and may soon enter the English lexicon. You know, K-content is not, it is trending indeed. It is trending. It's not just trending, it is rewriting the dictionary now.
Right, and I couldn't agree with you more because the words you mentioned, they're used often, a lot, in the Korean media. For example, K-dramas or K-movies or between K-pop group members. So these terms, you might see them being newly added to the Oxford English Dictionary soon. Then Munju, what about you? What do you think, which words do you think will get the final stamp from the Oxford English Dictionary?
Yeah, I completely agree with what Juhyun said. Just to add on, if you take a look at words listed in the Oxford English Dictionary, they're closely related to K-contents and Hallyu fever. So the Oxford English Dictionary once said that Korean words show how Asians in different parts of the continent invent and exchange words within their own local context, then introduce these words to the rest of the English-speaking world, thus allowing the Korean wave to continue to ripple on the sea of the English worlds. So based on this trend and this philosophy of the Oxford English Dictionary of adding Korean words to their dictionary, I think she, which is a Korean to address someone similarly to Mr. or Mrs., could be listed writing on the success of the drama Queen of Tears, as Baekhyun 씨 has been one of the best lines of the drama.
Right, he was a protagonist, male protagonist of the drama.
Yeah, and it was so popular that lines that everyone was like imitating him. So right, and another possible addition could be 떡국, which is the traditional food for New Year's holiday in South Korea, which we are about to enjoy.
Next week.
Yeah. So, and more than anything, it is absolutely incredible to witness Korean words continuously being listed in the Oxford English Dictionary.
Right, it is indeed a fascinating, exciting phenomenon. So we'll see whether these words will make it to the Oxford English Dictionary in the near future. Now, that's all from us today, but NewsGen will be back tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Korea time. Special thanks to Kwon Ji-yeon.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And Kang Mun-ju.
Thanks for having me today.
Thank you. And thank you everyone for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow. We are News Generation.